When did the outside world validate your writing, and what did that mean to you?
I think the first time the outside world validated my writing was when I was living in Atlanta, and I wrote something. I didn't really know what it was yet, what I was doing, and I just passed it to some friends at the company I was working for, none of whom were professional screenwriters or even had an interest in story or the craft or anything. But one of my friends responded really strongly. He said, "This is really good. This is really good. I think that the story could be better, but this shows that you're a really good writer." And that was the first time, I think, the way he said it, I felt like there was something that he was resonating with in the writing, and not just saying, "Oh, you're good at this thing. I can see it, and you're good." It felt like, to me, he was actually moved by parts of it. It wasn't great yet, and he told me that, but there was something in there that he responded to. And so seeing that reaction in someone from something I had actually written a full screenplay for was the first time I think I felt I could maybe do this.
What about the first time you were paid for writing? How did that feel, and how long did it take you up until that point?
The first time I was paid for writing, I felt like all of a sudden I had all this free time on my hands, because before I had always been doing other work to get paid, and then I was writing. So the first time I didn't have to do all that other work and I just focused on the writing, I could spend more time writing, but I still had all this free time that I didn't know what to do with, and I felt guilty for not spending it writing. And so it sort of felt like, is this what it's like? What should I be doing with my time? Because I didn't quite know what to do. I didn't have to go looking for other jobs right away. Near the end of the project, I had to start thinking, okay, what's next? I gotta go make sure there's work for me somewhere after this job is up. But it was incredibly freeing on the one hand, but also pretty scary on the other, because now it was this totally new lifestyle during those weeks that I didn't know, I hadn't been used to, and I didn't know what to do about it.
So did you ask anybody? Like, did you check in with any other people that had been in your shoes before and say, like, this feels different? You know?
I didn't really check in with anyone, because it was while I was in Atlanta at the time, and the people I knew were not necessarily screenwriters, and I had kind of sort of as a fluke almost tripped into this screenwriting opportunity that I got paid to do. And so I had no clue what to do, and I didn't even know who to reach out for.
And how did you accidentally get involved in that, Georgia screenwriting project?
The company I was working for at the time, which was a video production company, and we had done a few feature films and a couple short films, and I had pitched them on making a movie, and one of their friends had just kind of a crazy life story, and he was in the middle of it, and my boss and him were talking one time, and they're like, we could make a movie out of this. And so then they came to me and they're like, I think we're gonna maybe try to write a movie out of this. Do you want to write it? You don't have to worry about editing or doing some of your other tasks. You'll just focus on writing. And I said, yeah, of course, absolutely. And so I started doing it, and then I didn't know what to do with myself. So I was learning basically how to screenwrite professionally on the job. I'd studied it and I had written my own work, but I'd never been paid to do it. So all the other things that come with writing a screenplay that are not related to the craft was totally new to me, but I was now getting paid to do it. And so I had to figure it out of just how to navigate that world.
You think it was easier because this was your boss? Like, if this had been somebody that you never had met before? Or was it actually scarier?
I think it was easier. I think it was an easier job, not necessarily because he was my boss, but because we had a good relationship. He was a good friend, and so I trusted him and he trusted me, and so we were able to do that. And there was a good line of communication when I felt like I was struggling to make a deadline for certain pages, or I needed more. I needed to go back and we needed to talk to this guy again because it was his life story. And so he was really good about managing me, getting me access to him, but also pushing me and telling me when I needed to, like, just challenge myself a little more. Maybe I didn't need more access. Maybe that was just a way that I was afraid of going and writing the pages. And he said, no, just go ahead and write, and just we're on deadline. And he was really good about that. So I think, all things considered, it was definitely better for me than not good for me.